Hi everyone.
Hi.
I hope you all can see me and listen to me. Welcome to this webinar organized by Lexidy, in which we will discuss the Portuguese, Spanish, and Greek Golden Visa. Today with me, I will have David from Spain and Charalampos from Greece. I know that some of you have been waiting for a few minutes already, but since it's still 6 o'clock, let's just wait a couple of minutes to see if we have more people joining. In any case, just so you know, this presentation is going to be recorded. You will be able to watch it later on YouTube, and you will receive a link to watch the video again if you want to. Let's just wait a couple of minutes more. Well, I guess now we can start. Allow me to start by introducing Lexidy. For those who are not familiar, so Lexidy is an international law firm. We are present in several jurisdictions across Europe, 5 to be exact. And recently, we just opened our first office in Mexico. The core business of Lexidy is pretty much immigration. We assist our clients with any kind of visa for all the jurisdictions. But today, of course, we will focus on the golden visa. Let me just see who has the sound. I would ask if someone is with the sound on to please unmute. Yes. Perfect. Thank you very much. As I was telling you, the core business of Lexidy is immigration. Today we will focus on the golden visa options across Europe. I will be talking about the Portuguese golden visa. David will explain the Spanish one, and Babis Charalampos will explain the Greek one. So, moving to the Portuguese golden visa. As some of you may know, this is a residency by investment program that requires you to stay, and this is maybe the best perk of the program, to stay 7 days per year in Portugal. Each residency visa is issued for 2 years, and then you need to renew it every 2 years. After 5 years, you can apply either for the permanent residency or the citizenship. This is a process that we like at Lexidy, at least, to separate into 2 stages. The initial one, the investment process. This part includes, of course, thank you. Sound. This initial process will include, of course, the taxpayer number, the bank account, plus the investment. This is a process that takes usually around 1 month, 1.5 months to complete taxpayer number, bank account, and the investment itself. Once we complete this stage, we can then start the immigration process. The immigration process is basically the gathering of all the personal plus investment documents and the application submission. Most of you have probably heard about the recent change of the law that took place in last October. And basically what happened was that from the 7 options we had available in Portugal, we now have 5. Give me just 1 second. Because there is someone. Okay. As you probably heard, in October, the most popular option, the real estate option, from October is no longer available. And from that date on, the most popular option became the investment fund. The investment fund requires a minimum investment amount of 500,000 euro. There are plenty of options at the moment in Portugal to choose. We can, of course, put you in touch with most of the funds available in the market. Part of our job is precisely to proceed with a due diligence process to make sure that the investment qualifies for the Golden Visa, that has some specific requirements, that all the other funds in Portugal are not subject to those requirements. I can list some of them. The most important are the maturity of the fund must be of at least 5 years, precisely to fulfill the 5 years that you need to have before the citizenship process starts. 60% of these investment companies must be done in companies based in Portugal. And the last one, and most important, is that none of these companies can invest in real estate. As you might also heard or not, this is very recent, came into force in April 1st. The citizenship law changed a little bit, and this is a huge advantage for the Golden Visa applicants. Until now, until April 1st, the time for the 5 years for the citizenship would only start counting from the moment of your residency card issuance. With the new recent law, it's not yet clear the exact moment where the time will start counting, but we have 3 options. One of them will be the final one, and we expect to have a final decision within the next couple of weeks. But just so you have an idea, the best case scenario will mean that the time will start counting from the moment of your online submission. This means that any applicant would save around 18 to 24 months, which is a huge improvement and has a huge impact. The medium solution, the time would start counting from the moment of the pre-approval. This means that each applicant would save around 1 year. The worst case scenario, the time would start counting from the moment of the biometrics. In this case, every applicant would save around 6 months. So the situation is not clear yet, or thoroughly clear, but we expect to have a final decision within the next few weeks. In any case, the scenario will improve when compared to the scenario we had until April 1st. I know that you might have some questions. I'll be pleased to answer at the end of the presentations of David and Babish. And now I will pass the word to David that will present the Spanish option. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Vasco. If you can go, perfect. So, well, I'm David. I'm a lawyer at Lexidy, Spain, and similar to the Portuguese Golden Visa, let's start with, let's say, the main benefit that the Golden Visa in Spain gives you. Okay, these benefits are shared by all the Golden Visa programs. Okay, basically there is the application can be done in 2 ways. The application can be submitted at the consulate of your country of residence, from the Spanish consulate. Okay, in this case, a 1-year visa is granted. Okay, or if you prefer, you can also come to Spain as tourists, and during the 90 days, if you have all the documents with you, you can directly submit the application, okay, from Spain while you are in Spain. This time, the application is submitted online, electronically. Okay, we can submit it as representative. And in this case, the residence permit is granted for 3 years directly. This is why we usually recommend our clients to come to Spain directly when more or less all the documents are gathered, and then submit the application directly from Spain. The conservative alternative is applying from the consulate, but while, as you can see here in the 3rd bullet, while the 3rd-year residence permit submission takes about 20 working days to be granted, the visa at the consulate can take 1 or 2 months. Okay, so it's true that it's more conservative, because in the end you are not relocating, making like an all-in before having the residence permit granted, but the benefits are better if the application is submitted from directly from Spain. Also, the Golden Visa is a residence permit, okay, that also is linked to a work permit with no limitations, which means that if you are a Golden Visa holder, you and the accompanying family members, okay, so your spouse, or maybe you can, it's more meant for the spouse, but it can be that maybe some children you can bring to Spain also, including within your family unit, children of legal age that are still dependent on you, okay, in their 20s more or less, they will also receive a work permit with no limitations. With no limitations means that you can work while having a Golden Visa permit. You can work for Spanish and foreign companies as employee, as self-employed, as business owner. There are no limitations. You can work whatever you want, okay? Also, there is the Golden Visa residence permit is the only program, the only residence permit that allows the residence permit holder, okay, to keep holding the residence permit without having to reside effectively in Spain. As a general rule, to keep a residence permit in Spain, you need to at least reside 6 months per year, okay? With the Golden Visa, you can just have like a boarding pass to Spain, but there is no need for you to remain in Spain. You can go back and forth anytime. You actually, within the duration of the residence permit, either if it's a 1-year visa or the 3-year residence permit, you can just be in Spain one day and your residence permit can be renewed. Okay, the other residence permit programs thus requires you to reside at least 6 months per year in Spain. Okay, and then lastly, so speaking, let's say as a past tip, okay. Basically, there are several investment options. There are several Golden Visa plans, like in Portugal, like in Greece, okay. But the main ones in Spain are these ones, okay. The real estate, the bank deposit, the company share, and the Spanish debt, okay. Quickly, the real estate, basically, you just need to purchase a property, okay. That any property that can be registered in the land registry, which means not only houses or apartments, but also boats, for example, also parking spots. Anything that can be registered at the land registry can be added to the real estate as a real estate investment. Okay, the only thing is that there cannot be mortgages to this real estate investment. Okay, at least 500,000 euros must be paid in cash at the moment of the submission. You can have mortgages. Let's say you can buy a house or a property for 1 million euros. Okay, and you can have a mortgage up to 500,000 euros. If the other 500,000 euros have been paid in cash, have been paid at the moment of the purchase, you qualify. Even though you have a mortgage, okay, if at least you are able to demonstrate that you have invested 500,000 euros, you are eligible for the Golden Visa in Spain. This is for the real estate program. It's true that there are rumors of some cancellation. It's the intention of the government to cancel this program. However, for the moment, it's just a proposal, okay? And we consider that at least we will have some months until this becomes a reality. And also, the government has made the proposal, but they still need to get to an agreement with the rest of the parliament. Okay, and it doesn't look like this agreement with the rest of the parliament, or at least the majority, a qualified majority, will be that easy to be reached. Okay, so there are rumors. It can be that maybe during this year this program is cancelled. Okay, but for the moment there's nothing sure. The other option is the bank deposit, similar to the Portuguese one. Basically, it's as simple as having 1 million euros and depositing it in a Spanish bank account. Simple as that. Actually, it's the easiest residence permit application. Okay, but it's true that the amount required is quite high. But basically, just transferring the amount to a Spanish bank account. We can also help you set up a bank account. This bank account can give you some interest. Also, this also applies to Spanish investments, okay, Spanish stocks, Spanish any kind of investment, at least that is Spanish or recognized by the Spanish authorities, it can also be considered among this bank deposit golden visa. Also, buying company shares from a Spanish company for a value of 1 million euros also qualifies you for the golden visa. And then the last option, which is not the one very common, very popular, which is investing in Spanish debt. Okay, 2 million investment in Spanish debt. The good thing is that the interest and the return is quite decent. Okay, so it can be interesting if you want to invest in something more or less safe. Okay, and that's it. In short, all the main information about the golden visa in Spain. And now let's go back to you, Babis.
Good evening from Athens. I'm Babis. I'm a lawyer working with Lexidy on real estate matters and obviously with the Golden Visa program. In Greece, the Golden Visa program is a 5-year residence permit. In Greece, we do not have a minimum stay requirement in Greece, meaning that you can invest here and there will be no requirement for you to reside in Greece, not even for a day, during the duration of the 5-year residence permit. The residence permit can be renewed by the end of the 5 years of the original duration, as long as the original investment is maintained. The main applicant of the Golden Visa has the privilege to apply also for his children and for his parents to accompany him in Greece, or simply get the residence permit for them. And they also do not have the requirement to spend any time in Greece. After completing 7 years of residing in Greece, but in this case, you're gonna have to reside in Greece, not leave the country and get back after 7 years, you will have the right to apply for citizenship. Of course, there are other requirements attached to this ability, like being able to speak fluent Greek and pass through written exams relating to Greek history and stuff like that. So even though technically after 7 years of residence in Greece, you will have the right to apply, it is a bit of a difficult process that requires a lot of time and effort. When it comes to the types of investment in Greece, the most popular one is real estate. It is available in Greece, but it is currently undergoing great changes. There is a transitional period right now allowed. So if you complete your purchase by the end of the year, you will be able to buy properties either with 250,000 euros investment in multiple properties, if you are able to, meaning that you might be able to buy 2 or 3 properties for a total value of 250, and you will be able to apply and qualify for the Golden Visa program. Some areas of Greece, like Athens, Thessaloniki, and other popular destinations like Mykonos and Santorini Islands, have right now the minimum investment threshold is 500,000, 500,000 euros, and it has to be completed in a single property. The rest of Greece is on the 250,000 minimum investment requirement. But by the end of the year, starting January 2025, the minimum requirements change, and we are moving to 800,000 euros in investment minimum in a single property for Athens and Thessaloniki and most of the Greek islands. And the rest of the country will move to a minimum investment requirement of 400,000 euros in a single property. So these are very substantial increases that will take effect starting 2025. So there is right now an opportunity, if you are motivated to move quickly, to actually manage to get the Golden Visa in a much cheaper and better way for you. There are, of course, other options apart from the real estate option. There is the Greek government bonds. It is a $500,000 investment. There is also the option to either invest in a Greek company. It is also a $500,000 investment. And you can also do a term deposit in a Greek bank for, again, $500,000, 500,000 euros. The term deposit is a time deposit, meaning that the money will stay in the bank during the duration of your golden visa. So you will not be able to move the assets into other bank accounts. It will have to be a term closed deposit. And these are the main areas of the golden visa program. Bear in mind that for the real estate option, the property has to be free of any type of mortgages, own encumbrances. So you will have to fund the property either with your own funds, or if you manage to get a loan, it will have to be not a mortgage type of loan. Also, the golden visa in Greece does not provide you the right to be employed or open a business in Greece. It is strictly an investment visa. So while you can invest in companies and be a shareholder, you will not be able to work or hold any directing positions in any companies. So pretty much that is from me. That's all I have to say, and feel free to ask any questions.
So thank you very much, Babis and David. I see that we have some questions here at the chat. Most of them are for Spain. So David, first question, how long do we need to keep that €1 million in a bank account in Spain?
It's like just Bobby said, you need to keep the, if you want to renew the residence permit after 3 years, it will be required to demonstrate that the €1 million has been kept, or at least €1 million has been kept in the Spanish bank account, or the average amount during all these 3 years has been €1 million. So as a general rule, it must be kept there, like in Greece.
Okay, thank you. Another question for Spain. So is there a path to citizenship for Spain? If so, how long does it take to get citizenship?
So as a general rule, no, the golden visa does not offer any kind of fast track citizenship qualification, eligibility. So even though that you have a golden visa, you will need to follow the standard time to become a citizen, which is, as a general rule, 10 years being a resident in Spain. But there are, let's say, fast track paths if you are originally from an Ibero-American country, so from the South America, Central America, Portugal, and I think and Andorra. But as a general rule, it's 10 years.
Okay, thank you. So I have a question for Portugal. So in Portugal, with the recent change of the law in October, it is no longer possible to transfer, to have a bank deposit of 1 million. It was 1.5 million. Is no longer available. The options we have at the moment are the investment fund, the donation for a cultural activity, many questions now. For a cultural activity, or the creation of jobs. In this case, there are two options that I will be pleased to discuss with any of you into detail if you want after this webinar. Another question. Okay, I see we have many questions now for different kind of visas. Just so you know, after this meeting, you'll receive a link in order to schedule a meeting with me, David, Babish, or any of our colleagues from the immigration departments in the 3 jurisdictions. And then we can discuss any other visas that you have interest. Let me just see, could you tell me the citizenship law update for Portugal and Spain? So in Spain, I will ask David. Regarding Portugal, as I was explaining before, in April 1st came into force a new law about citizenship, and basically what changed was that, give me 1 second, was that the time for the citizenship, the 5 years, instead of start counting from the moment of the issuance of your residency permit will start counting from a moment before. It's not clear yet what moment will be. Most of the lawyers understand, and I agree with them, that the time will start counting from the moment of the online submission. If that's the case, if it's confirmed, it will mean that any applicant will save approximately 2 years in the process. So if that's the case, it will be a huge improvement, but we need to wait for the regulation that will come within the next few weeks, we hope, to have a clear answer. So if there is no other questions, we will end the webinar. Thank you very much for all your questions. As I said before, the recording of the webinar will be available at our YouTube page. You will also receive a link with this presentation and with a link so that you can book a meeting with us. I see that people are still asking about the kind of visa, digital nomad visa. We'll be very pleased to help you. Lexidy assists clients with all kinds of visas, including, of course, the digital nomad visa in the different countries. In Italy, for example, it's a very, very recent visa, but we can also help you with that. I hope you have enjoyed and look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you very much.